Yo, how's it going, guys? Disband here again with another episode of How to with Cell. In today's video, we're going to be covering staggers and block strings with Cell. Let's go ahead and get started. So, let's look at his buttons first. Got 5L, which is kind of stubby. It's -3 on block, which is solid frame data. He has 5LL, which has really good range. It's -5 on block, and you can also do 5LL and hold 4 or back, and it'll decrease the range. And the reason you would want to use this would be for like anti-reflect tools, which is a bigger part of Cell's game plan in my opinion. He has a couple of ways he can anti-reflect. We'll go over that here soon. His 5M is -5 on block, and it's probably his best stagger tool in my opinion, just for the sheer fact it has really good range. And you can also 4M, which allows you to do the button twice, and you can use it to catch people mashing like buttons. Obviously they can reflect and they can roll level 3 you, so keep that in mind. 2M has different frame data from what range you use it at. It's -4 there, -8 here. It's like what, -5 there. It's different depending on what range it started at and then where it hits you, which pretty much every character I'm pretty sure has at least 1 or 2 buttons that the frame data changes depending on the range of the button when it's used. One that comes to mind is Bardock. His 5M is -1 on block at max range, which we'll be covering in a future video. But enough about Bardock. Let's go over some block strings. So traditionally, this is what I would do with Cell and Bardock B if I have half a bar. I'm going to go for some type of mix along those lines. It's a true 50-50. They have to hold that unless they spark or try to guard, cancel, something along those lines. If you don't have half a bar though, let's say I win neutral off the bat and I have 0 bars right now. If I do something like this, I mean, that's only a quarter of a bar. So you can do super dash Bardock assist, which isn't true. You can get 2H'd, but no one's reacting to this super dash. The only way you're getting hit with 2H right there is if they're mashing it, and at that point they're just better. But the mix you can get off this is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It's similar to like a super dash beam assist call. I do think both of them have their own strengths and weaknesses. I mean, with a beam you cannot see the mix that is coming. Bardock you can, but Bardock's is +46, so you have more time to go for different mix-up options. They are both really good though, so I don't see enough people do super dash beam, super dash Bardock. I mean, you could do super dash with a lot of assist and get a mix off of it, but be wary, it isn't real. But the only way you're getting 2H, in my opinion, is if they're already mashing it. Let's look at Vegeta assist though. Vegeta assist is more of a bait tool. So what you traditionally want to do is let your block string rock until the last hit and make sure Vegeta assist is hitting as soon as your block string is essentially over. Be wary though, people can try to grab you. Let's say, you know, I did something like this. There's that little bit of time in between my last hit and where Vegeta's first ki blast hits, and they could grab me. So always be ready for a Dragon Rush. I've gotten Dragon Rushed a lot. Usually only higher level players do that type of thing, but it's always an option they can do, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's look at if I don't have an assist available, whether my characters are dead or I've already used them, and I want to keep my turn still. So there's this option right here. What this does is it puts you at a range with medium rolling crush, and if you hold 4 or back after it, it gives you this range right here. Most characters can't punish you in this range. So let's say the blue cell or the enemy cell press 5L after the medium rolling crush and me holding 4 or back, and he tries to 5L. If I 5M, that's a free punish. And if you get hit with 5N from Cell, you're about to explode at that point. Another way Cell can keep his turn is in the corner. 2S is +2 on block. And actually the other day I discovered, I don't know how important this is, because I mean, if they're in the corner and you're full screen away, it's actually +3. But it does leave you at a range where 5L doesn't reach. So you'd have to 5M or 2M, 5M, something like that. But I thought that was interesting the other day. I just did that and I was like, oh shit, it's +3 full screen from the corner. But that's another way you can keep your turn, is if they block that, that's +2. Obviously they can super dash through it or reflect it, but they wouldn't have to be respecting you at that point. I mean, there are nuts online for sure, and just nuts in general that would just try to reflect or super dash, so keep that in mind. But that is a good way to keep your turn in the corner. Let's go over anti-reflect strings now. The two I like with Cell. That reflect, yeah, alright. So, let's look at this. His second hit of 5L is an anti-reflect. So they have to reflect that twice, as well as 2L, 2M. Here, let me take them off block right quick, or guard first only. Alright, so let's say I do... See? So he has to reflect that twice. Same with 5LL. The second hit of 5LL is an anti-reflect as well. He also can do 5M, 2M. That's another one. Cell has quite a bit of anti-reflect tools, which is nice to have. I feel like it's a bigger part of his game plan. You should always be working on your anti-reflects. It's like kind of the small things that matter at the end of the game. At the end of the day in this game, in my opinion. And that's kind of one of the smaller things. Like, you don't see a lot of like casual players work on. All the higher level players definitely abuse anti-reflect strings. Anti-reflect strings are the wave for sure. But that's everything I can kind of think of. If I'm forgetting something or y'all have any questions, comment down below. I hope this video helped out in some way. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and stay safe out there, y'all, and hope y'all have a good day or night, whatever time it is. Peace out.